You ever wonder why some people can easily start a weight loss regimen while it takes other people months, sometimes years to even get started? I mean, you talk to these people all the time and they tell you that they are ready to start losing weight. They are ready to transform their entire life. They tell you that they want to lose their gut. They want to get a better body. They want to fit their clothes better. And then you see these people months later and they've not made any progress towards hitting their weight loss goals. Well, today we're going to talk about some of the reasons that are stopping them. Let's talk about it, y'all.
The first tip, you do not need to go out and buy a ton of supplements. You don't need creatine. You don't need to go and buy BCAA. You don't need to go and buy a fat burner and all of these other things. You really just need to focus on eating whole foods and cutting out the processed food. So you need a good balance. I would say 80% of your diet is whole food and maybe 20% can be a little off. But you don't need all those supplements. You need to get a good regimen with your meal. That includes lean sources of protein, which would be chicken, beef, seafood, fish, those kind of things. You can also have beans. Beans are also a good source of protein. They also have the necessary dietary fiber. So whenever I'm telling someone what to include in their diet, it is going to be things that are high in fiber. So beans are very high in fiber. Other things that are high in fiber are berries, avocado, quinoa, chia seeds. Those things are high in fiber, and that's necessary for you to have really good gut health, really for you to have a well-rounded, nutritious diet. The one supplement that I typically tell people to keep on hand, and it's not because you're going to have it all the time, but you do need to keep this on hand. Find yourself a good protein powder. How you can tell if the protein powder is a good source or not, you read the label. One, you don't want one that's high in sugar and high in carbs. And the second thing you're going to look for in this protein powder, you're going to look for the amount of protein per serving. You really should be able to get between 20 to 25 grams of protein per one scoop, which is one serving. Now, if you buy a protein powder and you notice that it's taking you 2 and 3 scoops to get 25 grams of protein, it's probably not any good for you. Now, there's one caveat. So whey protein or whey protein isolate is made from dairy, so animal sources. That tends to be a little bit more protein per scoop than if you did something like a vegetarian-based protein. So if you did a vegan-based protein powder, usually it's made from like pea protein or something like that, that you probably are going to need to have 2 scoops in order to get the equivalent of the amount of protein that you would get if you use a whey protein powder. But it really is your preference. If you are not lactose intolerant, you do eat meat products, then go ahead and get the whey protein or whey isolate. But if you are a vegetarian, you might want to settle for a vegan based protein powder, or if you are lactose intolerant, you may want a vegan based protein powder. I recommend that you get all of your protein from your whole foods that you're eating. So your lean sources of meat or beans, I recommend you get those things from your diet. The only time that you should be using protein powder is if you couldn't get all of your protein in that day for whatever reason. So you tried to eat 3 meals and somehow you still fell short on your protein goal. Maybe you'll end the day with a protein shake. I know some people are just super busy, so sometimes they may opt for a protein shake in the morning because they know they'll be too busy to actually eat breakfast. So the protein shake is actually what they have for breakfast to get them started for the day. That should not be every day. You should not be starting your day off with a protein shake every single day. But if you need to start your day off with a protein shake every now and again, I think that's completely fine. But I would prefer you to eat whole foods for your protein source versus relying on having the protein powder. Number 2, you do not need to go out and buy a ton of fancy gym equipment. You don't need to spend your money on something that you may not even enjoy. So an example, You go out and you spend $2,000 to $3,000 on some fancy treadmill, and it turns out you don't like running on the treadmill, so you don't use it. Now your treadmill is sitting there collecting dust, or you're using it to hang your wet laundry on. Or you go out and you buy a Peloton bike or some kind of stationary bike. Again, you spent $2,000 on this machine, and it turns out that you don't even like it. What you could go out and do is buy some basic weights like 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 pound dumbbells, because you are going to be able to get more use out of them than buying some big piece of equipment that you may not use. Until you're ready for the dumbbells, I do recommend that you get comfortable with body weight exercises. Learn how to do a basic squat, learn how to do a sumo squat, learn how to do some lunges, so forward lunges, reverse lunges, learn how to do a push-up, a tricep dip. These are exercises that you can do with your own body weight. Your body is the best weight that you can have. It's free, it's very effective. Learn how to do those basic things, because you'll be able to add the weights onto them later on once you get comfortable and master the move. Number 3, you don't need to eat a salad every day. People get so confused when they think that they're starting a diet or health plan, and they think they're going to just constantly eat salads all the time, or they're eating boiled chicken breast and broccoli. Number 1, let's go back to the salad. You can easily mess up a salad. I mean, people think they are eating as healthy as they possibly can, and they have a salad, but they have 3 serving sizes of cheese on there. They got blue cheese or ranch dressing, which probably has at least 15 to 20 grams of fat per serving size, which is usually 2 tablespoons, but they got 4 to 6 tablespoons on there. They got bacon on there. Like, all of these things that you don't need on a salad, but you think it's a salad, I'm eating healthy, I got lettuce, tomatoes, but yet you still have about 75 grams of fat on that one side, and that's one meal. Like, you've blown your fat macro for the entire day on one meal. The other thing that people get tripped up with is, oh, I'm eating healthy because I'm eating broccoli and I'm eating this baked or boiled chicken. That is going to be boring in no time. Learn how to prepare lean sources of protein that's actually good, things that you enjoy. Yes, you can have chicken breast, and yes, you can have broccoli if you enjoy it, but you can also have green beans, you can also have cabbage, you can also have kale, collard greens, you can have salmon, you can have shrimp, you can have catfish. You get what I'm saying? You don't have to limit yourself to boiled chicken breast and broccoli, and you certainly don't need to limit yourself to eating salad. There are things that you can have when you're eating healthy, and it does not include those foods that I named earlier. When I run my program, I actually give my clients a meal plan, and it has a variety of different foods on there. Now, they don't need to eat those things all the time. It's really a template for them to be able to build off of. When I help other people, so I'll never forget, I had someone come to talk to me about eating healthier. He wanted some suggestions. So I mentioned overnight oats. He had no idea what overnight oats were. So I actually brought him some overnight oats the next day. You would have thought I gave this man like thousands of dollars. He was so excited to have another meal option other than what he was eating. At the time, I want to say he was eating like boiled eggs and sausage or scrambled eggs, like something just like basic and boring, but he was eating that all the time. So I gave him the recipe for the overnight oats. I actually made him a sample of it so he can see that I wasn't just making stuff up about this being a really good breakfast. I also gave him a recipe for a frittata, and the frittatas, you guys know, if you have watched 2 of my videos, you know that I talk about frittatas all the time. Frittatas are very versatile. You can make it very high protein. You can literally put whatever vegetable or protein source you want in there, and that can be a meal that you can have for 2 to 3 days, and you don't have to be stressed out about trying to figure out what you're having for breakfast. You can make that ahead of time, and again, it lasts for a couple of days, so you're set for a couple of days during the week. So maybe you need help with your weight loss journey. Maybe you're tired of looking at a ton of videos, trying to figure it out and still really not knowing what to do. I would be more than happy to work with you. The application for my next FitCamp will be in the description. So fill that out or reach out to me and let me know how you can learn more information about how to work with me. Tip number 4, you do not need to focus on counting calories. I hear so many people get stressed out about counting calories. You do not need to go down to 1,200, 1,500 calories, 1,800 calories. Oh, I need to be in a calorie deficit. All of those things may need to happen later on. I am more focused on you getting the food right. And if you get the food right, you will lose weight. Cutting out the processed food, cutting out sugary beverages. Sugary beverages includes soda. That's an obvious one for people, but cutting out juice, even if it's 100% fruit juice, cut it out. It has too much condensed sugar in that one drink. It usually requires 3 to 4 pieces of fruit just to give you 1 8-ounce serving of fruit juice. I would rather you eat the fruit and you can benefit from all of the fiber that piece of fruit has in there, and you will be more satisfied and filled from having a piece of fruit versus having 1 cup of fruit juice, right? So cut out the processed food. When I say processed food, cut out potato chips. You don't need to have any of that. Cut out the stuff that's packaged and have a long shelf life. The idea is really learning how to eat the right foods so that you can be successful. And again, in my plan, I'm giving people a meal plan. I'm giving you the kind of foods that you actually need to include in your diet so that you can remove the bad stuff. Now, I will say I like to eat. I'm able to prepare my food in a way where I enjoy it. I'm still able to get the taste and get the kind of foods that I like. I still eat cheeseburgers. I still eat pizza. I still eat a lot of the things that people who are eating processed diets eat, but I make it in a much cleaner way, and I usually feel better about the food that I'm eating versus eating the junk food. If you're not eating the right foods, regardless of how many calories it has in there, you are not going to hit your weight loss goals. So I really hope this video was helpful for you. Leave a comment down below and let me know which tip you will be incorporating into your new healthy lifestyle. And I pray for your health and success on achieving all of your health goals. Until the next one, be blessed.